Hello everyone, this is Susan and you're welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please click on the red button down there and then click on the notification bell to let you know when I put up new videos. Thank you. So today we are making some flatbread, and I was initially going to use just a cup of flour, just plain flour. If you notice in this video I'm hesitating and I'm taking a while to add the second cup, I later decided to add like another half cup, almost a full cup of flour to my mixture. So to this almost 2 cups of flour, I have some water, warm water please, some warm water, and half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of salt in there. I'm going to put in the half teaspoon of salt and mix it well to dilute the salt. And after that, I'm pouring some of this water, not all of it, some of this water, just to get a little not too runny consistency, because we're trying to make flatbread, and the whole idea of flatbread is to make it just in the middle, a little soft, a little hard, so it seems a little sticky, because if you make it too hard, the bread will actually come out strong and it won't last for the next day. You have to finish it while it's hot, while it's still soft. So I've added some water in here, and I'm trying to incorporate water and flour together. And at a certain stage, after I see that the flour and the water is incorporated properly, I'm going to add some oil. The whole idea of this oil is to bind the flour and the water, but I was supposed to put this oil in the beginning after the flour, then I put the oil and I mix it, but I forgot about oil. I had already put in my water before I remembered to put in oil. But that's the thing, that's how the kitchen works. As far as you get everything in together, you mix everything together, you get what you're looking for. There's no specific, maybe just for cakes you need to follow certain procedures, but for every other thing you can just it's a trial and error thing in the kitchen. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, in goes my my oil, and I added some little flour in it also, just to get it into, you can see a bouncy, oh my camera, just to get it into form. Okay, at this junction you flour your surface so that your sticky dough doesn't stick to the surface you're trying to knead it on. So I am going to, I've floured my surface and I've poured in my dough. It's very, very sticky. Please take note, it's very sticky, but that's the whole idea of the flour pouring around it, so that I'm able to mold it and get it round, just to help its elasticity and the gluten in the flour to expand more. So this is me kneading this at intervals. I'm pouring flour over the surface and around the board, just so that it's not too sticky and it's not too hard. Okay, so after this is done, I'm about to let it rest for 15 minutes, and for it to rest properly, I'm just going to cover it with a napkin and allow it to rest. So this is after 15 minutes, and you can see it looks as though it expanded more, so the gluten has expanded. And here I am trying to divide it into equal parts. I tried dividing it, but because it was very, very sticky, it wasn't too fun dividing it. So you can see it's so sticky. I have to flour the surface again, so that the flour helps me to pick up. I learned that for you to, sometimes you can even use how do you say, corn flour. You can also use corn flour or semolina, just so that there's a different texture on your dough, and it also helps so that the dough doesn't stick to your surface. So anyway, it's not like it's a mistake or something. This is exactly the consistency I want, because I want my flatbread to be soft and I want it to last long for the next day at least, so that we can use for breakfast, going to school and going to work. So this is my mediocre attempt at dividing it into equal parts. It looks funny, but well, it still came out nice. The whole idea is prepare your food and get it into your tummy. So after dividing this into parts, into separate smaller parts, let me put it like that, since it's not even equal, I'm going to say divide after separating it into smaller parts and dousing it with some flour again on the surface. The whole idea, I'm emphasizing that the whole idea of this flour is just because something is still very, very soft, and I don't want it to be too sticky on my hand, and I don't want it to be too runny, for the recipe. So anyway, the idea is just to hold it together. So this is me trying to bring everything into into separate balls so that I can start flattening them separately. So after kneading them separately, now trying to begin to flatten them. I forgot to flour my rolling pin, so that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm trying to get it as round as possible, and as also as flat as possible. A little thinner than an inch thick. Yes. Okay. So I have to do all the pieces that I've separated. I have to flatten them out like this, and to put them, so that they don't stick on my plate or on my surface, I have to put some parchment paper and put the anyone I have flattened. So after flattening, you put it up, put your parchment paper, and you put your flatbread on it. Then you put over another parchment paper to put the second, the second piece that you have flattened, and continue doing this until you finish flattening all your pieces together, because it doesn't make sense you flatten one, then you go and put it on the fire to cook it, and then you remove it, and then you come and flatten a second one, and then that's going to be a very long process. So just try and flatten everything at once before putting on your pan on heat, and begin to cook it. So this is me cooking I had my pan on high heat here, and I've put one of the flatbreads on. You can see it's beginning to change its color, and I learned that when it changes color doesn't mean it's cooked all through. When it changes color, you have to wait and see if it begins to make some bubbles on the surface, and you're going to see some bubbles growing on the surface right about now. If you can see closely, you see some parts are bubbling up, and if you notice that means the part that is on the pan, the surface that is on the pan, is cooked. Okay, so all you have to do now is just to flip it to the other side and let it run through the same process. So let me just allow you to see how this one goes before I start pitching in. So once this is ready, the same way you preserved it while it was raw is the same way you're going to preserve it when it's cooked properly. You get another plate, you put it on your parchment paper, and you put your cooked flatbread over it. You put another parchment paper over it for the second one, and you keep doing that. And after doing that, you cover everything with your kitchen napkin. Or the idea of covering it with your kitchen napkin is to allow the heat, the steam, not to escape, just to allow the steam to, incorporate into your flatbread, and this way your flatbread won't get hard. It will still be as soft as you want it to be, even up till the next day. But if you had started your mixture from beginning already strong and everything, I'm telling you, you're just preparing biscuits, because as soon as the flatbread becomes cold, you won't be able to, it will become, you know what I'm trying to say, it will become crunchy, it will look as though you just made biscuits. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You see how soft? I'm telling you, it remained like this till the next day, so we're able to use it for breakfast, to take to work, and it was very very nice, very 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 tasty. So this is my finished work, and you can eat it with anything you want, with some masala, with some stew, with some vegetables, with meat, anything you want. So thank you all so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you being here with me, staying up till this time. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. My new subscribers, I sincerely appreciate you. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and on the notification bell to let you know when I put up new videos.